This is my warm-up ritual for the 10th episode of the Greenthought podcast. Hey, welcome to the Greenthought podcast. It's episode 10. Welcome to double digits, everybody who fucking with me. Like Scrum It, you know what I mean? Been in the comments. Not really a lot of people, but you know, we gonna move it forward. I have a propensity to half-ass shit all the time. So I thought this would totally be something that I would half-ass. But I got great direction, great production, great love from a beautiful woman. So we here. We at episode 10. It's not the Green Thought podcast until we start smoking. So the fuck is we smoking this week, Shawn? This week we smoking OG candy from most of it is from Ease, but it's like from Old Pal. We smoking. Episode 10 we doing Pretty Woman. You want to try to get into some sports. We also going to talk about, I went to one of those pop-up art shows. I guess it was called Wonder Spaces. So I'm going to give you my full report on Wonder Spaces. Tell you what was dope, what wasn't dope. Grand Thought Podcast, episode 10. We in double digits, y'all. This past week, I got to do a pop-up art show my girl told me about called Wonder Spaces. It was super cool. I didn't know what it was going into it. My girl told me that it was a art show. So I'm cultured. So many museums and art workplaces. No, Wonder Spaces was dope. But it did actually introduce me to something that people say about San Diego that I never get to endure or have to deal with, which is parking. I don't know, because I only really go to work and smoke weed and do the podcast and do comedy. So, but if you go out to do shit in San Diego, parking is crazy. We left the house pretty early, but once we got down in the area, it was nowhere to park. And I'm trying to think how, Shawn, you high, you smoking weed, optimal thought process right now, solve the parking problem in San Diego. I have no idea how to solve the parking problem in San Diego. Anyway, Wonder Spaces. I thought we was going to go to an art museum. It was actually something you had to sign a waiver for. I didn't know exactly what we was getting into. It was cool as shit. The first exhibit was basically a light show. Say you was in a Foot Locker, but instead of just aisles of I don't know, the fuck, retail apparel and shit, shoes, it was just all lights. And it was being in a Kanye West video. It was a bunch of just, I don't know, alternative art. Stuff you would look at and be is this art? Or is this could I do this? No matter if you could do this, you didn't do it. So shout out to all of the artists from Wonder Spaces. That shit was dope. My favorite one was this. It was these tubes on a wall that had little balls in them, right? And there was no liquid in the tubes or nothing like that. It was just this little ball in a tube. And when you got close to certain tubes, the ball would fucking go up. I don't know how this is going to work out, but maybe there will be pictures of it right here. Or a picture of me interacting with it right here. Or maybe right there. I don't know where it's going to be, but hopefully there'll be a picture. The worst exhibit is that art, or what am I looking at? They literally had plants that your grandmother might have, just plants hanging, and they wanted you to go up and touch the leaves. I ain't touched the plants. Shout out to Madison for coming out for the Wonder Spaces thing. It was super dope. They had this big fucking balloon, essentially, that was made out of Chinese store takeout bags. And that's where I draw the line. Personally, I'm dude, overall, Wonder Spaces, 8 out of 10. I didn't know until I left that it was an Instagram plot. I didn't know that. I don't have Instagram. But it was basically an Instagram plot to stand next to things that look cool. Enjoy my slideshow. This is Shawn Reinhardt with sports. The O's, as the day that we recording this right now, the O's did not do well against the fucking Yankees. Fuck them. They split the series. It's 1-1. By the time I talk to you next week, I'm gonna have forgotten about talking about this right now. Apparently, the O's want to trade Manny Machado. I guess they gotta trade him. If I'm being completely honest, I've not been watching the O's as much as I should have, so I'm not exactly sure why they trying to trade Manny Machado right now. But come on, man, I fucks with Manny Machado. First of all, he nice. Second of all, he get after it. Like, I don't know why. He's a handsome dude. Like, I don't understand why he could be the face of the team. And we already got him. I want Manny Machado to stay. We had Manny Machado before he was 21, and I used to be like, yo, what if Manny Machado come into your bar? Like, would you serve him? He a star of the fucking O's. Speaking of Manny Machado, the Ravens really not doing nothing right now. It's all just like up to speculation. They want to know if Flacco going to show up. We got to wait for more time. The first game of the preseason, but we're going to play the Redskins. Fuck the Redskins. Sorry, Mike. Not a lot to report about the Ravens. Apparently, there's some other thing going on that people were talking about. Y'all might be aware of it. It's like the World Cup, I think is what it's called. It's like soccer. Like, apparently, it's this big soccer thing going on. Ole, 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 ole. Like, this is the World Cup report. So today, in the World Cup news, in the semifinals, Croatia beat England. Go fucking figure. I'm not exactly sure where Croatia is. Depending on the editing of this, Croatia could be right here. Or right here. Everybody was upset about it. Apparently it was a huge upset. Croatia beat England. I don't know a lot about soccer, y'all, so I don't know why they were super upset. I don't even know where the fuck Croatia is. True story. I used to dip out of my geography class in college with bleepity bleepity bleep. Yeah, I would come in, the little roll sheet would come around, I would sign my name, and then I'd be like, let me know when he not looking. And she was totally cool. Like, you know what I mean? Croatia probably could use a win over England. England had a bunch of wins. Like, look at it historiologically. They also got a third place game, which is like, that's the problem, soccer. That's why Americans ain't gonna never fuck with it. Or, y'all let me know if I'm off base here. Because I always like extra games. But then I'm thinking, like, that's why America not gonna fuck with you. Because America only fuck with winners. I was on the swim team in my high school, and we came in third place in the city. Everybody else got trophies. We got ribbons. That's a real thing. The third place game is Belgium versus England. It's two white countries playing an athletic sport. Brings me to my next point. None of the teams in the World Cup is, South American or African or, you know what I mean? It's something to think about. Go Croatia and France. Apparently, y'all got the best soccer players. Little known fact about Croatia. I didn't know this, but apparently Croatia is where they shoot Game of Thrones. So Croatia is getting money because Game of Thrones is getting money. There's no way you can separate the money. So fucking go Croatia. I'm picking Croatia over France in the World Cup. It's going to be 1-0 because it's soccer. I don't know why y'all watching this shit. I'm happy for this shit to be over. 100 people at my job are asking me whether or not I care about what country does what because they think I'm Jamaican. That's a real thing that's happening to me. I want the Jamaicans to win if they in it, like for sure. But BTW, go Jamaica if y'all was in it. I would fuck with y'all. This week we're gonna review Pretty Woman, but as far as the movie for next week, we go to the hat. Oh, it's a good one. Trading Places. You smoking a vape pen, it will get you where you need to go. Pretty Woman this week. It was my first time watching it. I was trying to put the respect on Pretty Woman that it deserves because it's definitely one of the most popular rom-coms of all time. And I deduced something from the very beginning of this movie that, like, the whole movie would not have been needed to be shot if Richard Gere had a GPS in his car. Like, everybody got GPS in their car. And it was a super expensive car. If Richard Gere would have had a GPS, you would have never knew about Julia Roberts. Put it on paper. He got top billing. I fucks with Julia Roberts. I'm not even trying to be a dickhead. I think she's a really halfway decent actress. And it was interesting to see her with her original teeth. That sound like a burn on Julia Roberts again, but it's not. Like, cause I fucks with Julia Roberts, but she had the way I said it, described it was like they was Shrekish. It was like they was rounded. And I'm not even here for your comments below, like, subscribe, comment about how bad my teeth is. So fuck y'all. But Julia Roberts is a world famous actress, and she had bad teeth on screen. In the movie was a bunch of famous people who I'm not even going to talk about because I think I want to do a thing on here where we like talk about the people who be in the old movies, who be in all of the other shit you be seeing. So, with that being said, what would you call them? Like the B-list actors? I don't want to disrespect them. This is the What Steve Buscemi Used to Be segment. My first one off the top that you see on the movie, Laura San Jacobi. Laura San Giacomo. Look, you gonna have to Google her. Trust me, she's been in mad stuff. She be working, and she's played multiple characters that I fuck with that I can't remember who they was, but shout out to her, Laura San Giacomo. She played Kit, who was like the big homie to Julia Roberts, who like, yo, let her stay in her apartment, who hit her with the rail, who, taught her how to be a hooker. Ralph Bellamy was James Morse, who was going to be featured in the movie for next week, which is Trading Places. He's like the old white guy. He is essentially an old white guy who looked like he got mad money. He don't even have to like say nothing. You look at him, he look like he got mad money. He be in mad movies. They will racially profile you if you white too, especially if you white and got Shrek teeth and you in Beverly Hills. Anyway, but Larry Miller, he's the dude who was in the store who had to bite the bullet for Julia Roberts getting discriminated against. Hector Alonso played Barney, who was like the fairy godfather of the movie. He was the hotel manager. He set everything up, got her hooked up with the hair, the dress, the shoes, all that. So these are Shawn Reinhardt's who Steve Buscemi used to be. Anyway, what Pretty Woman is like I said, is like the archetypical. It's like the blueprint for the rom-com. You got Richard Gere, who's a handsome billionaire who just went through a loss in a relationship. Really don't got time for the intricate stuff. Happens upon Julia Roberts, beautiful hooker in Los Angeles. Let's say circa 1990. Yeah, he happens upon her because he's like getting all caught up in his relationship, and he's got this business deal that's going through, and he's like, it's a whirlwind of things for him. He had to get out of there. Yeah, again, if he had a GPS, he would have rolled right past Julia Roberts because, and now this is going to be body shaming, but she had Shrek teeth. She had a wild wig, which is super crazy because Julia Roberts has got the trademark big red hair. She like had that shit bundled down in like a blonde wig or something. So totally pass onable. Would have rolled right past Julia Roberts easily. But anyway, he didn't. She hopped in a car, and that's where it started. Like he needed directions to a hotel he was staying at. She gets in the hotel with him. She chews him up. It's not rated R, so they ain't getting to exactly what went down. But in that short period of time, they found out that, or Richard Gere found out that Julia Roberts was a little bit deeper than she seemed. So then that was intriguing. They agreed to like hook up for the next week because he needs to have somebody on his arm because he got to finish this business deal. So, okay, bet. Then you got Jason Alexander, who was in Seinfeld, who played Stucky in this movie, who was Richard Gere's business partner, who was trying to get the business deal done. And it was super weird because, like, he was a big TV star. He's in this movie. You looking back on it like, didn't he have enough bread? But whatever. He was the side guy. He's always been the side guy. It was a jerk, too. It was super weird. He was super creepy. He finds out that Julia Roberts is actually a hooker because they having fun, they going out. She telling them stories. They connecting. Apparently, Richard Gere is afraid of heights. Who would have guessed? He's kind of acting weird. Richard Gere's acting weird. The business deal's going wonky. So to try to assure him and like reassure him, he tells him that she's a hooker. Bad move. He goes like full tilt into like sexually harassing the shit out Julia Roberts. I know I'm hopping around. There was a lot of like emotional rom-com parts. Something about kissing in the mouth. I've always been opposed. They get estranged because, obviously class and upbringing or all of that bullshit. But he actually decides, because of their relationship, to close the deal in a different way, which makes Jason Alexander super mad. He goes over to the suite, tries to like really rape Julia Roberts. Like, yo, it's super weird looking back on this because this is like 1990. So he's more famous than her. Like now, she way more famous. I don't even know if that scene exists anymore. Not to say anything about whatever, but just to watch old movies. Richard Gere comes right in, grabs Jason Alexander off, gives him the one piece, breaks his nose off the muscle. Richard Gere looking super like, save a hoe. The theme of the movie is crazy because I had to wrestle with this. Is it tricking if you got it? That's what the movie is all about. Is it tricking if you got it? He was a billionaire. She was willing to like hook up with you for a whole week for $3,000. Brings me to the interesting part. Some website, C17A.com, did like kind of analysis of what the movie would have cost. Like the whole thing. Richard Gere's a billionaire. He puts her up in this lavish Beverly Hills hotel, the Wilshire. Staying at the Wilshire, gives her the credit card. She buys all kinds of clothes. You got like, he rents the beautiful diamond necklace. They go to private jets, San Francisco. I'm like listing the stuff off. Like if Richard Gere was Jay-Z, this would sound way more believable. But he Richard Gere. But like, yeah. Or like, I don't know. He's a billionaire. I'm trying to liken him to somebody in real life. I guess Elon Musk or like he what Richard Gere did was he bought companies and broke them up and sold them. So I guess he was Bernie Madoff. Or I don't know. But he had a bunch of money and he like, sure enough, wife Julia Roberts, who was a hooker. So when they did the addition, they found that in 1990, when this movie was supposed to take place, what Richard Gere trick, I don't know where we can put it, maybe here or here. Down here. Richard Gere tricked an astounding $108,493. That's U.S. money, y'all. in 1 week of that's in 1990. Now I know y'all saying, Shawn, it's 2018, my nigga. Break it down for me for 2018. Yo, if you was to put it in 2018 in 1 week on a chick, and I'm not trying to belittle sex workers or no bullshit like that, but on a chick that he just met off the muscle, that's how you know he balling. In 2018, it would be $196,746. $196,746. $196,746. Like, yo, you could buy a property with that. Like, I mean, I guess essentially he bought a person. The down payment on a person was $3,000 in 1990. Anyway, yo, there was a lack of brown people in this movie for it to be Hollywood. Dude, I'm not in the Hollywood circles. I live in San Diego. And yeah, yo, there's fucking brown people everywhere. You ain't gonna tell me it was, I guess, Kit, Laura San Hickama. She was the brown person. And as we do on Green Thought Podcast, we always try to like put something in the air for the people that passed. Pretty Woman, even though it was a rom-com, had some tragic parts to it. We got to put one in the air for Skinny Marie. Was it Skinny Marie or Skinny Maria? Yeah. Skinny Marie ain't make it through the movie, y'all. She will be missed. She was a fictional character. Wow, she wasn't even an actress. They didn't even give somebody a job for that. She was essentially just a name. Can you imagine you go in? Like, do you think it was always just a name? Like they had like people that came in to like audition for Skinny Marie, and it was just like, fuck this. Anyway, Skinny Marie. So yo, that was the Grand Thought Podcast, episode 10. How you say it in French? 10. Episode 10. Episode 10. Episode 10. Nuts. Nah, that's bullshit. Don't know how to say it in Croatian. We said it in French, but I told you I'm going for Croatia in the World Cup. But we getting out of here. Thank y'all for fucking watching. I really appreciate everybody. Hope y'all like it. Whatever y'all don't like, leave in the comments, man. Don't forget, like, scrum it. Like, subscribe, comment. Check it out. You know what I mean? Something you want to see on here, something I missed, let me know. Before we get out of here, smoke this last bowl. I do got to shout out this balloon. Y'all see this balloon? Yo, I don't know who make this balloon or what, but this balloon been floating for 51 days. I actually thought it was just slowly releasing poison gas or some kind of shit like that, but we still alive. It's still floating. It made it through Amelia's birthday. It made it through my birthday. Mad people birthdays. A lot of people was born in June. This balloon was happy birthday in the whole way. So shout out to this balloon and whoever make it. You can get them probably at Ralph's, Vaughn's, Albertsons. If you're on the East Coast, you can probably get them from Giant or Safeway or ShopRite. Maybe ShopRite. Thanks for looking out and checking out the Grand Thought Podcast. We getting out of here. My name is Shawn Reinhardt. Don't forget, we're going to be out here next week, and we're probably going to have some more mukbangs. I want to do some ASMR. And yeah, peace, man. Shout out to everybody. Thank you. Fucks with y'all. It sounds like a UFO. It's like boom, 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 boom.